I am going to have to go meet owner over here, but it's on the way. So,
all right.
And I didn't realize I just grabbed your bottle. I had a whole Windex bottle that I'd bought to clean the windows on this the other day.
No worries, man.
So I used a bunch of yours, so you can have mine or something. So we're recording now?
We're recording now.
Sweet. And these may be the guys I'm meeting, I don't know. But we will drive over to them.
This looks a lot different than when I was here last.
Dude, yeah. We're about to build one here. We're starting it in a few days. Gonna build one on the other side of that tree, put one there. Got those two to go. And we're fixing to go off-roading right now.
Okay.
This is why we have the cruiser over here.
Oh, we're going up. Let's do this. So where are we going right now?
Right now we are on the undefined land past Maverick Estates. So this boundary that we're driving down right here is Maverick Estates. That's the outer boundary of Maverick there.
I got you.
This is undefined land, and we're meeting with a buyer who bought Maverick Lot 3, and he's a part of a group out of Nebraska, and they want to build there on that property, but they want more land. So we came out here yesterday, and we figured out what an amount for their site would be, and they have friends that want some. And so we are going to figure out what an additional acre would look like for them somewhere in this area.
Gotcha.
So this is some undefined land that we are going to be selling.
Great.
To existing people. It's not listed.
Have you actually had to turn any kind of four-wheel drive on this thing on yet?
No. Well, one time I've had to drop it into low going up a really steep hill that was all sand.
That's about it.
One time. Everywhere else I could just go. So I'm going to meet with these guys for just a minute if you want to mess with some settings.
Sweet.
And see what you can look on your phone and see what this stuff's doing, or no?
I don't have it set up right now.
Okay.
I probably can, but not while they're recording.
Okay. So you may want to pause recording. Let me check with these guys, and then we'll jump back out. We'll drive some more.
Sounds good.
So we just met with some folks that are out of Nebraska, and they own Maverick Lot 3, which is right over there. Their riding group is growing, so they want some extra land. So we just pinned a spot, which is not uncommon. We'll come out here and just find some land that fits an existing piece of land, and we'll add to it. Our next step is to be a call to the surveyor. We want to move a property boundary, so we're going to move this boundary in 40 feet. That fits their build site better than what this big one. They don't need all this extra land up here on this north end, and we'll find out what that is, and then we will start negotiating. So,
rocking and rolling.
That's how we do it, my friends. Trying to, as I like to say, build someone's dreams at the dunes.
That's right.
Dude, that's a cool sound right there.
Hey, you know what? You just updated your logo anyways.
Yeah.
So, you're just helping it out.
Yeah, right on, man. So we've got a kind of a cut trail here. It's a little bit rocky, and not rocky, sandy, rough. There's no rocks out here. And this is our north-south trail to get from the north end to the south end on what would be the west edge of America's Oasis. So there's about 125 acres of undefined land that is not listed. We don't have any plans for it in particular yet. Down this hill will be a future riding trail.
Oh, cool.
For dune vehicles. So we'll have to come in and cut that. And so now we're just going to work our way through the sand and sagebrush and find our path, which is kind of fun. We always keep our eyes open for the hide-a-key that is lost in the pasture.
So, John, you lost the second key to this cruiser somewhere out here.
It is out here, and I am confident we are going to find it.
So you should put out like a once this gets developed,
Yeah.
a reward of some kind, like a free pizza on John if you find my hide a key.
10-4. So we're heading south right now, going up this kind of dune, and we're about to intersect a mowed area. And so to the left, this will become Razorback Road extended. So Razorback Road exists today, but it's only about 450 feet long. And if you went directly east from where we are, pointing behind us, that would intersect with the existing Razorback. And then when we get around this cedar tree, we'll go back south again on a mowed path. And this is a road that has never been videoed before, and we don't know what the name of it's going to be. So it is the road to be named later.
The road that has no name.
The road that has no name. And on the west side will be lots. On the east side will be lots. And these are probably going to be larger tracks. Off in the distance to our east and south, you can see some blowing sand. That's our short course. So people come out here and they want to go really fast in circles and go up and down hills. We have a rhythm section out there for the motorcycle dudes to go over. It's just pretty cool. We bring a guy in. Ben Davis brings the guy in once or twice a year, puts him on a piece of heavy equipment, and he tunes that track up. That's what he does professionally, is he builds dirt and sand tracks all over the country. And so we have a professionally built and maintained short course at America's Oasis. It's really cool. So this particular path has only been mowed. It has never been scraped, so we don't actually have a strong sense of what it's going to look like. But we are closing in on Plum Road right now. And we won't be able to go out Plum Road because we have a fence up to keep everybody out of this area. But this gives us a sense of what our land looks like. There's the short course off to the east. We are headed due south, and we will make a loop up here and find an exit, and then we'll finish our tour of America's Oasis.
So when did America's Oasis first break ground? Because you've been the developer on this since day one.
Yeah. So sometime, it would have been 3 years ago. So you can figure out whatever that was, 22, I think. I don't know, 21 maybe?
21, 22?
Yeah, somewhere in there. Christmas Eve, I think, is when it got listed. And I think less than 100 days after it was listed, Ben Davis owned it. He happened to be surfing the internet, found it in Waynoka. He was a previous duner, had been coming here for years, loves it. His friends all come here to ride. He's got a riding group, and they own a place in town that they use to store their RVs and kind of a big hangout shop, which was the inspiration for really everything he wanted to build here. And so he bought it. Well, before he bought it, he had a meeting with me and the guy out here on the site. We drove it, and he kind of explained what he wanted, and I didn't understand any of it until we get to the very back of the property, and he kind of finished his explanation. And the way I tell the story, which I think is accurate, is so, hey, Ben, if I understand what you're wanting to do, you want to build the thing you wish already existed that you could enjoy. And he's like, exactly. And I said, okay, well, we can do that. And it all just looked like that off to our left there. It was just sand hills and sagebrush everywhere, and cattle. We had cattle in here. And this property, America's Oasis, shares the boundary with the Little Sahara State Park. So one of the first orders of business was to put up a barrier fence that blocked off access to the dunes from this property, because you could actually drive up. Ben owns some sand dunes that are actual real sand dunes. Sand that over the last 30 years has blown from Little Sahara, shifted north onto this property. And so you could actually drive from this property, if you knew how to get there, onto the state park without going through the gate, which is a real problem. Nobody, he doesn't want that liability. So that was one of our first orders of business, was to go create a barrier fence so nobody could get from his property to the dunes, and nobody from the dunes could get onto him. And so that worked well, and now we're year 3 in development. We've built upwards of 20-something buildings out here, 2 RV parks, a couple of miles, maybe 3 miles of road. We have 3-phase power to the site. We have city water that we've brought to the site. High-speed internet is brought to the site. And now we're selling land to individuals who are building their own dreams out here. So it's really cool. So over here on our left is our day parking lot. So when we have big events out here, this thing will just be full of trucks and trailers where people come with their side-by-sides, and they're not maybe staying the night or something. They're maybe just day riders. And so they'll either use this for free, or sometimes they'll rent out spaces here if it's a multi-day weekend event. And they'll, charge them a little bit of money to park in here. And, you might get a 20-foot parking space, and you back your rig up, unload, park your trailer, lock it up for the day. That's kind of that. Up here on our right, we'll make a loop, is the America's Oasis office building. And so this is a really great structure. We built this for Ben and his staff to use. It's got a meeting room in the back. It's got a bedroom for seasonal staff when they're here, kind of a front lounge area. They've got a merch area, and then a couple offices for the director for the company. And some
as well as a tornado shelter right there.
We do, yeah. We put tornado shelters in at all kind of the primary locations where people gather. So now we're going to get out here to Roper Road and hang a right, which is pushing us south. Roper Road meanders. It's kind of the spine of America's Oasis. It just kind of cuts everything from north to south. It's the main thoroughfare.
So you've got gravel and you've got sand.
Yep. So not all of our roads have two sand trails. A lot of them do, but we try to have a sand trail along every road, at least one side, because gravel's hard on sand tires, those paddle tires that people put on. So we've got sand trails that run around, and we will also tour the actual sand trail. So we're under construction still. So we're moving blocks from the south end to the north end to build a retaining wall today. We're coming to the south end of Roper, and now we are at Plum Road. Plum Road is named for all of the plum thickets on the property. And we'll be driving through Plum Crazy Campground. Here's our property manager. His name is Andy. He's out touring and checking on stuff and seeing how things are going. We got another storm shelter here. So these are all day rent campgrounds, and these are a couple of campers that Ben owns that he rents out to people for nightly use. I think we've got like 63 or 57, I don't remember exactly how many it is, units here. So we have level 1, now we're up to level 2, and then the really cool part of Plum Crazy Campground is level 3, which is where we're headed next.
And I was here a couple of years ago when this was just getting developed at a UTV takeover event, and this place was full.
Yeah, it's full.
It was absolutely full.
Yeah, and UTV takeover will be back here in October, and we'll be stacking people on top of each other. It's so full. So these are 100-foot long RV sites. So originally this was designed to be back-end sites, and we'd have double the number, and we had such demand for people wanting big pull-through spaces that we cut it in half, made them long, and then we left the ends open for parking. And we have a tornado shelter here. We'll do something cool right now. We'll go up another. This is my favorite place on the dunes. Go ahead, Nathan.
No, you're good.
So this is my favorite place in America's Oasis, right here. Hold on, boys.
Oh, the rig fell off.
We lost our back camera, so we're going to pause.
We did.
And go fix it.
There we go. I was wanting to check that real quick. It's that bottom rig right there. It's that crosswind that got us, I think.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're back. So I'm going to turn the vehicle here in just a moment so we can look down the drag strip. But this is my favorite place on the dunes, or at America's Oasis. So we're at the highest point on the south end, and straight ahead is Little Sahara State Park.
Wow.
That's really cool. If you'll look straight ahead and to your right, you'll see a whole bunch of sand dunes, and those actually belong to Ben Davis, the owner here. And over the last about 30 years, that sand has just moved this way. So there's going to be a track listed right here for sale coming up soon that will be incredible for somebody to own. You actually would own your own sand dunes.
Wow.
So there'll be about a 15-acre tract that will border the north boundary. All of that sand, the sand on the other side of those trees, a big dune there, and then there would be an area in this bottom with a build site, and we'll have road access to it, water and power. So it's pretty cool.
And that's incredible. What a view.
Yeah, it's great. So far in the distance, you'll see the bluffs. that is what you see on the other side of the Cimarron River. So that's those red bluffs way out there. So this is just a really cool place. When the sun's setting to the west, it's just beautiful here. And then straight to the northeast a little bit is our drag strip. So our drag strip runs east to west, and you can see the lights there. We call this the arena, the part that's directly in front of us. And then the parts that are defined by the retaining walls, that's where we actually run our drag races. And we basically do two things. We use this as the slowdown area for the drag races, and then when we're not running drags, they'll do barrel racing, down and back racing, which would be like two cars running at the same time against each other, or timed events. So in barrel racing, if you're not familiar with it, because I wasn't, is exactly what it sounds like you would do with quarter horses. You set barrels out there, and then you just go as fast as you can around the barrels. So it's kind of fun. So we're going to bail off this hill and drive down through the drag strip. Nathan, what's really cool about the drag strip is these guys have some incredible cars. They tune them. Some of these cars only exist. They do not go on the dunes. They only exist to go fast on sand, which is just really specific. And the official race of a sand drag is 300 feet. And they'll go over 100 miles an hour in 300 feet.
It's incredible, man.
I mean, it's just wild.
It was one of the craziest things I've seen in person. Just the adrenaline too, and I know there's like those night rides too, where they're running heats against each other.
It's cool.
And so they're kind of,
So that's called
bragging rides.
Yeah, we call that grudge racing.
Yeah.
And so for, I don't know what they're charging, $25, sign a waiver, make sure you got a helmet, make sure everybody's sober, and go race your buddy. Or call somebody out that you went on a ride with for the day. It's like, hey, you meet a new friend down here, hey, I think I'm faster than you. No, I think I'm faster than you. Well, let's go find out, buddy.
There you go. I saw a dad with he was on a quad racer, and he had his kids in the back, and they were running heats, and they were beating people.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It was awesome.
I mean, so we've got like the real, like professional style cars that come down here that go 100. I mean, and they're just insane tricked out. I mean, these guys show up with big rides, huge trailers. They'll have extra motors in the trailer in case they blow an engine. And they'll go drop a motor and come back and race again. I mean, these guys are they are hardcore, and they get after it. And they race all over the country. They'll race in Southern California and Oregon, and now they're racing here. But most people that are racing aren't those guys. Most people are racing are amateurs that have tuned their own car. They come out here and have a great time riding. They love the sand. They love the community. And they just want to go fast in a safe environment, which is what Ben has built here. Safety is a primary concern. So we work hard on making it safe. So this building to our left here, this little one, that's what we call the storage tower. We store all the racing gear in there, and we just got that completed. The building on our right is really the heart of the whole thing. We call that the venue. It'll have a bar and restaurant in this corner down here. We got the big canopy for people to gather. We have food trucks that hang out here, and then all of the bays on the north end of it are for rent for different vendors. So when we have big weekends, riding events, vendors will come in and rent those bays, and they'll sell shocks and tires and radios. And we had Can-Am here last year in the fall. That like Can-Am corporate brought about 12 of their rides down on a big trailer. And you could sign up on their website and take rides in their cars with like their drivers. They would lead a whole group out. Like every hour they would lead a group of people out on the dunes, and they were promoting their vehicles. So it's really cool.
That's genius.
Yeah, it's cool.
Wow.
So we've got just great commitment from vendors to be here when we have big riding events. The land on our left is a 3-acre tract that we have listed for sale. It has water and power to it, and it's undefined, so it really could be defined as anything somebody wanted to make it. It's a really cool piece. Directly in front of us on the other side of that fence is a 4.75-acre tract that is undefined, meaning we could break it into a variety of pieces, do some elevation changes, make it buildable for one or multiple parties to buy that. So now we're back on a new road that we've not been on before. This is called William Avenue, and we're going to make a loop, and then we will drive the sand trail in just a minute. So
sweet. Before we do that,
Yeah.
I want to check the rig one more time.
we will do it.
With all the crosswind we've got today and the bumps,
Yep, we'll check it.
our mount, I want to make sure it's sound and everything.
So what we're looking at right here is a new listing that we just put together, and these are all commercial tracks. So what we envision is that businesses would come in here and buy land that backs up to the sand trail and that borders Sahara Drive. So we imagine a sand sports company would come in here and, you know, offer tweaks and fixes and tires and whatnot up and down Sahara Drive. So we're at the north gate. That exists in one location at the south gate, but there's really not great opportunity for development there because the highway drives away from the dunes. So the highway and the dunes touch at one point, and that point has been built out into a big campground that the state park owns. But here, we're driving at the dunes. That's what's great about this location. So we're on Sahara Drive right now, heading north, and we're about to make a loop back into Brooklyn, and we'll look at some more commercial lots and some residential lots.
Man, so this is just incredible. So all this will be commercially developed right here.
Eventually, yeah. So right now we have three on the north end, 7 on the south end. The very middle, Ben has decided to hold back because he just loves that part, and he's not sure what he wants to put in there yet. But you can see there's some flags right there. That's a lot. We've got some real estate signs up here. We just took a bunch of fencing down, and we've got a little more to take down. So there's 2 lots here, and then one where the big sign is that says lots for sale. And that's on the agenda for today and tomorrow, is to get all that barbed wire fence down so that we have access to that from the road. But we're on Brooklyn Drive now, and so this is what would be considered our first entrance to America's Oasis. So if you're coming in to America's Oasis for the first time, this would be the road you would see first, and you probably would drive in, and this will be the primary road that owners use. So if you've bought property here, you would turn on this road, and that's how you would get to your property. And then we direct all of our event traffic down to William Avenue, which is that road on the south end. So I'm going to pull up here and turn the camera where we can see some of our lots. So we're driving past Roper Lot 15 on our left, and we're about to be up here at Roper Lot 16, which is this nice corner lot. We've got some folks that are negotiating the contract on this one right now, and I think it's going to go. But the cool thing about Roper is that we've sold nearly all of it. Like almost all of it's gone. This is Roper 2 down in the corner. We sold it to a guy from Nebraska. Roper 1, which is where that piece of equipment's setting, we sold it to another guy from Nebraska. A lot of Nebraska people down here. This is Roper 3 and 4. These folks are out of Dalhart, Texas, and that's their place. We just built that for them. It's beautiful inside. Great property that they have. It's a 2.5 with a great big shop, and they Airbnb this out. They're just super good people. So Nathan, I'm gonna pull up here and point us at one of the buildings we're working on, and I'll let you hop out and check the rig.
Sweet. That sounds great. Man, you guys have done just a ton of work out here since I was out here last, and it's really cool to see. I could see how it'd be hard to envision it at first.
Yep.
But now that it's all coming together, man, what a awesome place.
So we're still recording?
We're still recording.
Okay, so you go ahead and do that. I'll talk about this place here.
Sweet.
So this is an example of not a barn dominium, like which would be a residence, but this is going to be a shop with RV sites. So directly in front of me, where these pink flags are, will be a concrete pad for a big 50-foot motorhome to park on. And then where the gravel is, we'll smooth all that gravel out and grade it out. That'll be a common pad. And then on the other side will be another RV pad. And these are 2 buddies. They built this shop together. They're going to have 2 RV pads together.
Will you restart that? Because what I just realized is with me getting out of the car and this pumping into the same channel, we're probably going to hear a bunch of wind noise over whatever you just did.
Yep.
So tell me what's going on here.
So this is not a barn dominium. So up here on the right, 327 Roper, that was a barn dominium. This is one we're finishing here on the left. This belongs to some folks out of Sapulpa, Oklahoma. But this belongs to a guy, a couple of buddies out of Kansas City, Missouri. And they love to come down here and ride, bring their families. They've got little kids. They're wanting to raise their kids down here, riding and having a great time. and they like their motorhomes, so they don't want a barn dominium. They go to the lake in the summers, they go to the mountains in the summers, so they're gonna stay in their motorhomes, but they wanted a permanent site to be here. So we built them a 30 by 50 shop with a big porch where they can pull their rides out and work on them and do whatever tire changes, whatever they need. And where these pink flags are will be one RV site. There'll be a common patio in the middle, and then there'll be another RV site. And you can kind of see our utilities are set up for them. One guy will back in, one guy will pull in, and then they'll set their canopies to go out toward each other. And they'll have shade and this big concreted patio in the middle. And when they come down, man, they're ready to go. They don't have to rent a site. They're good. And then they'll have a garage where they can keep all their gear. And they'll probably leave their stuff down here during riding season and go back and forth in their daily drivers. And then at the end of riding season, they'll load it all up and take it home. So that's what a lot of people do, is they store their stuff here for the riding season. Riding season starts about the end of February. As soon as it starts warming up, we start getting some 40 degree plus days. And it goes right up until about the end of June. The dunes get really hot end of June, so it's not very fun to ride during the day when the sand will get up super hot. So riding dies down a lot in July and August. By September, people are back. And people ride literally from September till Christmas. So it's really cool. So these are Roper lots here. All of these have sold. This is Roper lot 7. This is Roper lot 8 and 9. Now over here on the left side, that we've got Roper lot 10 and 11. We're about to do dirt work on these, and we'll balance these two lots. We'll take this high point, push it down into that low point, get all that balanced out, and get it just like we want it. And we've got those for sale. So now we're driving into Camp Roper, and Camp Roper is awesome. We have 6 RV barns on the side with garages, and these rent annually. And I think we have them all rented out right now. Guy can bring his gear up, park it, go home, come back and forth all riding season in his daily driver, leave his gear, leave his camper, hook it up. We pay attention to it. Obviously, we're not responsible for it, but America's Oasis we're always on site. We're looking. Here's our yard for keeping equipment. We got a utility building that matches up with this place. On the left, we have our campground center. I'm gonna kind of zoom around so we can see that. It's kind of cool. It's got bathroom facilities and free washer and dryer and vending in there. The vending's not free, but the washers and dryers are. And these are cabins. So we built 4 cabins. These are 1-bedroom cabins that have room for pull-out sofas or bunk beds in the front room. So you can sleep a whole family in these, and these rent annually, and they're all rented. So a guy can, instead of bringing his rig back and forth, he just rents this, leaves his gear here, locks it up, turns on the internet, turns on his cameras. He can keep track of his stuff, and then he's good to go. We got a big riding group in here from Nebraska. So at the beginning of this video, we met with some guys and we were showing them lots, and they are in this riding group. And some of their friends are why they're looking for more land, because they love it here. So we have 17 RV sites here, and this RV park backs up to our sand trail. So I think, Nathan, we're just going to go jump on the sand trail. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this is how you would get on the sand trail. So that's an RV spot to my left, so I'm not going to drive through it. But we made this little turnaround here for the sand cars to get out, and you can see one sitting here. And we'll kind of follow through here. And so we have this little middle island that we fenced off to kind of be a visual barrier from the sand trail. And then we have a north and a south entrance. And I'm gonna go backwards, but you can see we got a little stop sign up here to give some direction. And to the left is Waynoka, to the right is Little Sahara, and we let everybody know for safety that the cross traffic goes, and so you're entering their domain. The cool thing about America's Oasis, Nathan, is this sand trail. So across the road on the other side of Sahara Drive is a sand trail that's maintained by the state of Oklahoma, state park guys. And it's long, and they just don't put enough energy into maintaining it, partly because they want people to go slow. So they leave it rough so people don't go fast. But it creates lots of complaints. So one of our early goals at America's Oasis was to connect Little Sahara State Park to Waynoka. And America's Oasis property proper connects the two things, literally. So the city limits of Waynoka has now been extended all the way through this property to the north boundary of Little Sahara State Park. And our sand trail connects to the sand trail in town.
Wow.
So without ever having to get on the rough sand trail, you can drive your paddle tire car from Waynoka all the way to the dunes, or from the dunes all the way back into Waynoka to go get a hamburger, because there's sand trails all through Waynoka for UTVs to drive on. So we just graded this, and there's about an extra 6 or 8 inches of sand on top of this that wasn't here last week. So the sand moves out here tremendously, because that hill wasn't there 4 days ago. But
that's awesome.
So now we're driving south on the sand trail, and to our right is the drag strip. So this was all built on purpose this way, so that everybody who drives the sand trail can see what we're doing at America's Oasis. They can see the drags. They can see our venue. They can see when we're having events, because we want people to have a place where to come and have a great time. So this is the gate to get into Little Sahara State Park. Really cool. And you go right through there, and
we were just on America's Oasis. Now we're here.
That's the state park. So it's just like that. We have a permanent easement with the state. We negotiated that when we bought the place, or when Ben bought the place. We were able to negotiate that with the state park. We have a permanent easement to allow our sand trail to dump out into their property. And now we're going to drive this sand trail all the way north and see what it looks like going the other direction. So this is what it's like when someone is... they just left the dunes. They're like, hey, there's an event at America's Oasis over at the venue. Let's go. So they shoot up this sand trail, hit William Avenue, hang a left, U-turn back in, and they can go get a hamburger, some barbecue, something at one of the food trucks, go check out the vendors, maybe go hear some live music, something like that. Lots of fun stuff like that. Or maybe they're going to go on into town, and there's a pizzeria in town, Rachel's Restaurant's in town. She makes great food. We eat there all the time when we're over here. There's lots of businesses in town that, sell things for the duners and things like that. So it's pretty cool. These are our commercial lots again on the south. All of these commercial lots have access to the sand trail, and the idea being that if you put a business in here, we assume you're somehow related to the riders, and so they would want to be able to drive to your location without getting on a hard surface road, which again is hard on their tires. So that's kind of the idea. So sand trail backs up to the commercial lots. Road vehicles come in off Sahara Drive. Sand cars come in off the sand trail. So up here on the left would be Roper lots 10 and 11. These are for sale. There's 10 right there. There's 11 right there. We're going to be balancing those out, doing some dirt work. We mentioned that earlier. And 12, 13, and 14 have sold. And so those are already owned. And we've got 15, which we're at the corner of 15 right here. So this is Roper lot 15. It is for sale, and it's a fantastic lot. It's a fantastic lot. So this is one of the really cool parts of the sand trail, is what the owner calls the forest. So this is the owner's land, and that's his place there, back behind those trees. And we designed the sand trail where it would cut right through the backside of his property. He likes to see the riders come through. He's a rider. He loves to see the cars. He loves to see the families driving through and having a great time. And this is all his property off to the left. This is what connected Waynoka to Little Sahara, was putting these properties together. And so we're still on the America's Oasis sand trail right now, and in just a moment we will dump out onto what we call the Waynoka sand trail. So this is the sand trail that was already here and is maintained by the city. So all of this infrastructure we built, we lowered this sand trail, we put in drainage so that the water from the road would not get on the sand trail. We piped it underneath the sand trail. And now we're on the Waynoka sand trail. And so on busy weekends, there will be 1,000 cars a day running through here, getting back and forth from RV campgrounds up here, or Airbnbs here in town, property owners that own things here where they come out. So before there was an America's Oasis, if you wanted to own something in Waynoka, you wanted to own something off of this trail because it made it easy to get to the dunes. And now that America's Oasis is here, it's just that much easier. Now you have a dedicated sand trail on the same side of the road as you, and you don't have to cross over a hard surface road to get to to Little Sahara State Park. What do you think, Nathan?
Man, I think it's incredible. So, I don't think this could have been done without somebody that is a duner themselves. Just everything being purpose built, thought of from a rider's perspective. It's that. I mean, that's just what I would call it. It's just purpose built, and it's incredibly unique. I don't know of another place in the United States, at least in this region, that has as many amenities as this does for the dune community. So, like, I would say if people are like halfway serious about even doing things, if you have rigs, if you're doing this with your family, if you're coming down a bunch, you should own something down here.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think it just makes the most sense. I'm even just thinking, we talk about just cost analysis. If you reverse engineer something, like how much money are you going to spend in gas hauling your toys back and forth to a dune every year, and rental costs and stuff like that, like you could actually be saving money over your several years by just owning a spot. And for families that this is what their parents love to do, kids love to do, they're growing up doing this, they're going to do it for the next decade. This is a spot where you can make memories doing that. And
100%.
so and it's still at the ground level. I mean, we just drove through sagebrush that hasn't even been touched yet.
Oh yeah.
That has that's, you said, it's unidentified. It is still being imagined and built, and every time I come out here, there's something new.
Yeah.
And so it's a cool thing to get in and be a part of. And I mean, this is just the beginning. This is going to be going on for a very long time.
Absolutely.
And so to be to have an opportunity to snatch up a piece of land and build your own little piece of paradise out here is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Look at all these turkeys right here too, man.
Holy smokes, man, they're coming.
Yeah, it's turkey
coming.
season.
It is turkey. I heard them gobbling this morning. We were getting up a site, trying to figure out exactly what we were going to do and where we were going to place some blocks, and I could hear them off out in there. There's so much wildlife out here; it's crazy. What all we've got going just in the area. Yeah, you're 100% right. A lot of the folks that we're appealing to are longtime dune riders at Little Sahara State Park, and they just want to have their own place. One of the cool things about America's Oasis residential lots is that in our covenants and restrictions, we specifically say residential lots are not commercial, but we do allow owners to rent their places out, via Airbnb or VRBO, or rent it to your buddy or whatever, and that includes the RV spots. So when someone builds a shop, put 2 RV spots with it, man, even if you don't rent them the shop part, you just rent them the RV spot, hey, there's a way to recoup some of your money. And I think it's funny to say it this way, but you're making friends. Yeah. It's amazing the amount of people that come down here, meet people here, and they become lifelong friends with someone they met at Waynoka, Oklahoma on the dunes, meet them at the pizza shop, or meet them at Rachel's restaurant, or meet them at the venue, or they all gathered up for a night ride that was taken off from the venue, and they happened to be, bumper to bumper riding. And when they came back from the ride, they start telling stories, and sure enough, they're from the same state, and they live an hour apart, and they met here in Waynoka. I mean, you hear crazy stories like that, and they want to ride together. They enjoy the company, they enjoy the community, and if anything, riding is a community event. No one rides by themselves. So I'm going to drive through Maverick Estates, and then we'll kind of wrap up our tour this morning. But Maverick Estates is our second offering of property. So Roper Estates, we drove down it first. We're passing through Roper Estates right now. So this is Roper Lot 2, Roper Lot 3. On the corner here is Roper Lot 1, where that piece of equipment is. That one is sold and it's under construction. We're about to start a barn dominium there. We'll start it in a week. Matter of fact, the materials are laying on site. On our left and right is the beginning of Maverick Estates. We've sold almost all of Maverick. So Maverick 1 through 4 have sold, 6 through 10 have sold, and we only have 3 lots left, I believe. We have 4 lots. We have 15, 16, we have 15, 10, 11, and 12 left. got to get my numbers right. But
well, by the time these videos come out too, they could be sold.
They could be sold, yeah. So lot 16 here on this corner is under contract, and so just good things happening every direction out here. And these are all people that are wanting to build for the very reason you described. They want to bring their kids here. They want to come here with their friends. So we're about to start a shop for a family out of Yukon, Oklahoma, right here on lot number 8. And then we're going to start a barn-dominium over on lot number 10. That guy's buddy bought the lot right beside him, lot number 9. And he told me, we were talking the other day, and he said, hey, man, later this year, we're going to build something too. So, it's just really cool. Lots of cool things happening. This corner lot right here is really cool. A guy out of up by Wichita bought this. He bought 2 acres here. And we're going to build him a big cabin right up on top of that dune up there, and it'll be a fantastic place. And same thing, he's been riding here for 20 years, and now he has an opportunity to own something, and he's going to own something here and finish out his years of riding right here in his own place with his friends and their riding group. So it's really cool. What else you got, Nathan?
Man, this is incredible. I'm excited to keep driving back around here over the years as this gets developed, and just be able to say like, hey, I saw that when there was just dirt and sagebrush, and now there's people making memories there. So
right on, man.
So what do people got to do to get in on this?
Yeah.
So what's the next piece? Let's do the call to action here.
Yeah. So the call to action would be really simple. I'm John. I'm the realtor. I'm also John. I'm the developer. I'm also John. I'm the builder for lots out here. So we're a one-stop shop kind of connection. Advanced Real Estate Advisors out of Woodward has the listing here. I'm the listing agent, and we can help you. We'll help you find something. So, and if we don't have a lot that fits you, we will find a lot, or we will carve off a piece of land. The owner is open to that. We'll carve off a piece of land that fits what you want, and we'll get you a spot. I mean, we're negotiating with people right now on 2 and 3 and 4 acre tracts, and on half-acre tracts, and on additional land behind the land they bought. So the goal is to get people sites that they want to build on. That's just bottom line. That's the goal. We want to find people who want to be here, help them buy the property they want, help them imagine what could be built, put a plan together to build that, help them with the financing. We've got 2 banks that are doing construction financing and long-term financing on projects here for barn-dominiums and or shop builds. So we've got everything we need kind of together. We have a package that can just roll out. So, and I would also say we specialize in remote builds. So if you're a remote owner, don't feel like you got to drive down here every week to check on your property. When we build something out, once we get you closed, you tell us what the project is, we price it, we go under contract on a project. Man, it just works well. We have developed kind of a rhythm and pattern of updates, videos, pictures. We've built most of America's Oasis that way. So it works out great. You don't have to be on site. We need to have a site meeting, and you need to tell us what you want to build. We'll sketch it up. We sign a contract, you give us the okay. And maybe, honestly, the next time you come back, it's done. Like, that's actually happened. We've built for people, and we have one meeting. They tell us what they want us to build. We get approvals on everything, and when the next time they show up, it's finished and they can use it. So,
well, I can almost guarantee you that if you drove down here and you wanted to do something, so I mean, you're not overstating this when you say like you've literally taken this from the ground up.
Correct.
You've developed every road that you see here, every property, every survey stake that's out here.
Yep.
You've had a hand in that. And so if people have an idea of something they want to do, they should just call you and talk about it.
Just make a call.
And
just make a call.
I would say that you've got a bunch of physical business cards sitting out here of things that you've developed, that you've now sold
Correct.
as a realtor, and built as the construction company. So, man, it just seems like a pretty easy process for those who are wanting to do something.
You bet. You bet. Absolutely.
So, what's your phone number? How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
So easy piece. Call me at 580-273-8222. 580-273-8222. 8222. And the first question I'm going to ask is, hey, have you been here? If you haven't, when are you coming? We want you to see this place. We want you to love it. But I will say this. We have sold land to people who have never been here before.
Wow.
They heard about it from their friends, and they said, well, I've been to Little Sahara, but I've never been to America's Oasis, but I want to be there. That lot that we're looking at right now, that building, I sold that to a guy on a FaceTime video. He's like, dude, show me the lots. I showed him. He's like, I like that one. Is it for sale? Yep. I said, I'm going to get you in touch with the owner. And got him in touch with the owner, and they made a deal. This before it was even listed. He just did it. And
so the other unfortunate thing, and fortunate also, is that things are kind of going fast.
Oh, yeah. We're almost out of lots. And so that's good and bad. As we sell existing inventory, I'm in a continual communication with the owner about listing new parts of the property that have the infrastructure necessary to support building. So, it's always the same, right? You got to have roads, you got to have ingress, egress. You got to have water, you got to have power, right? Every site has their own septic, on-site utilities. That's why all the lots are half-acre minimum. That's a requirement in Oklahoma. But, there is limitations at AO. We don't have roads everywhere. But everywhere that we do have roads, that we can get water, and we do have power, those locations are either for sale or they will be for sale. So I would tell people,
if you're thinking about this,
if you're even thinking about it, give us a call.
Thinking about it, let's have. The conversation. Get it started.
Absolutely.
If you're a year or 2 years out,
yep,
I would say just go ahead and have the conversation.
Absolutely. I've been working with the lady that's got lot 16 under. She's negotiating 16 right now, working with her bank on it, and we've been talking for nearly a year, and not even patting her foot, just the timing is not quite right for them to make their decision. They understand that the lot they wanted sold, so then they went to their second choice, which is this one that they're at, and they really like it, and we're hoping we can get them under contract soon and go under contract and start their project. So, so phone call, 580-273-8222. I'm not sure how this works. That guy would know how this works, not this guy. But it's possible there could be like a QR code on this video. And if there is, then you might be able to click that QR code or click a link. And if that works, if we can do that, we will link you to a page that shows you all of the lots that are for sale, all the listings, all the pricing. It's easy. So, and we try to keep that updated just as current as we can so that everybody knows what's going on all the time.
That's right.
We're going to try to make that happen on this video as well. But my guess is by the end of riding season this year, by June, we'll be sitting down with the owner to make plans for whatever's next, because there is tremendous interest at America's Oasis. And I would even tell you this, if you drive down here and you see something you like and it's already finished, you're like, hey, I'd like to own that, call me. I'll go talk to them and see if they'll sell it to you. There is just a ton of interest in stuff down here. And I've already talked to people who are building early, who got in early, and told them, I said, hey, you should be completely prepared for somebody to come make an offer to you on your place. And all of them have told me, yeah, I'd do that, and I'd go buy me another one and build another one. Building, Nathan, I will say this, building's not for everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
There's an amount of people that want to buy something that's complete. They don't have time in their life for building. There's another amount of people that think building is a great adventure. And then there's another amount of people that want something built the way they want it. They don't necessarily love the build process, but they want what they want. So they're not going to buy something that's existing when they have the opportunity like this to buy something that's never been touched and build their dream. So I think that's just cool. But yeah, 580-273-8222. That gets me. We're going to return your phone call, and we're going to try to find a way to help you build your dream here at the Dunes. It's really cool.
Love it.
All right,
dude,
man.
Thanks for giving me the tour.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right.
We're turning off the cruiser. Cruiser out.